your team to be able to, what's the word? My brain is failing
Share.
on. Yes, to be able to share, review.
Thank
There we
you.
go. I love this team effort. So it's recording right now. So with that said, let's get into the training to be able to walk you through um, just the entire process. So give me just a second. And if everyone can mute, that would be great. And just let me know. You could speak up if you have any questions. All right, let's get started. Okay, shout if you can't see my screen. But most of you should have, in terms of should be maybe familiar with this. If you need me to invite you to the portal, please let me know and I am happy to do so. But once you receive into the portal, to the Visible portal, it looks like this. And from here, you'll see this. You've been invited by April Hill to Greenbuild International Conference and Expo Partners portal. From there, you simply click Join Portal. And it's going to take me to the next screen. Here we are. All right, and from here, it should take you to this portion where you either sign up or you log in. So if it's your first time, obviously you would sign up, but if you've been there before, you simply go to log in, enter your password, and from there, any moment, it should take you to the homepage of your portal. So for the purpose of this call, I decided to temporarily be a member of Dunn-Edwards. This is what your virtual booth looks like. So here's your homepage where you will see your name. Next, we have the tasks portion. So from here, I see this has already been done. The product category, the best happens here with your tasks and deadlines once they are submitted. So you simply, obviously, you click here, you upload whatever you need to upload, and then from there you simply click submit. I've actually had to remind a few exhibitors to do that because I've gotten a few emails this week with different people saying, wait, why didn't I submitted this? I'm not seeing it. And then I go and I check and it says in progress, like here. So remember to submit. And then it comes over to me and I can upload it for you to your virtual booth. I approve it and then I send it to you just for you to review and let me know what you think. So this is where everything that is needed for the front end of your virtual booth, this is where it's all collected. So your product categories, your booth banner images, your headshots and contact information. For this, please remember to include email address as well, as that's very important. The platform does not accept contact information without email, as well as the booth resources, a company description, your post-event video. This is the company description that is very much like your welcome. It's the pop-up window. So as soon as attendee sees your name, your company name in the virtual expo hall, they'll click on your logo and then automatically they will see this pop-up window that will come up that will describe what your company is and who you are and what you've done and why they should be excited to meet you, and then finally your logo. Next, we have the resources tab. And so this is something where I'm constantly uploading different resources for you and for your team. So this is the exhibitor kit and resources page where you click here and it'll take you to your exhibitor resources. We have the digital sustainability tips. We have the best practices checklist for virtual exhibits because we're all about nurturing happy customers, as it says here. We have the quick tech check. Now this is something that I recommend that all of you do prior to the show in order to test internet speed, webcam, all of that. We next have the attendee troubleshooting guide, the guide. Next, we have a training video. This is something that two of my coworkers worked on. They did an incredible job walking you through the back end of your virtual booth. So basically everything that I will be discussing in this call, it's already here. The resources tab in your in the in your exhibitor portal. And then next we have Greenville traffic driving ideas. We have booth layout and submission process guide. Now, in regards to this, this is something that if you wanted to include this, this is something that you would have to talk to your salesperson about, and they will be able to offer any additional ideas, but it's here as an option if it's something that you would like to consider. And then we next have the company profile page. So this is where once I receive your company description, it will be right here. And then from here, this is where you will enter your virtual room. So I'm seeing some of the speakers here, which is awesome for the show. And then from here, this is where you will click enter virtual room. But I don't think that anything has been uploaded to the back end of your virtual booth as of yet. So I'm actually going to use one of our demo sessions for the purpose of this training. But this is where once you want to enter your virtual room, you simply go to company profile, scroll down and click enter virtual room. And this is where you'll be able to enter the back end of your virtual booth to be able to communicate with those who visit your virtual booth. And then from here we have the team. So this is where team members are added. And as I can see, I see that members have already been added. So I'm not sure who is overseeing this, but for those of you who need a refresher, you simply click add team members. And from here you invite them as admins, and they are able to access the back end of your virtual booth and access the exhibitor portal. So this explains your exhibitor portal here. I'm going to pause for a second and ask if anyone has any questions.
I have a question. So under company profile, under speakers, I see some of the team listed with images, with their photos.
Yes.
Do I need to add my own, or will I just, because I'm not listed on there, so I just wasn't sure what I needed to do.
So this is where this side of things comes in. So if you go back to the tasks, and I'm seeing just one more. So 4 have been added. I'm seeing just one more space. So if you are speaking in your virtual booth or what have you, this is where you would just send over your headshot and email and title, job title, and from there I can upload it.
Okay.
Okay.
Dina, am I the one that?
Well, I'm not sure. I uploaded all of them, so you could be in progress. I'm not sure. April,
do you want me to check right now?
If you don't mind, yes.
Sure.
Please.
I am seeing.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So it just needs to be submitted. So I will click submit.
Oh, okay. I see.
Awesome. So it will come over to me now, and then I will approve it and upload it. So that should be, so I will take care of that directly after this call. Does anyone have any other questions in regards to this side of things? Okay. All right. So I will, oh, yes?
I was just going to say good on my end.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I will stop sharing this side of things, and then I'm going to go to
Wait, I have a quick question.
Sure.
When I was trying to upload, although I saw it in part of it, when I was trying to upload it on Thursday or Friday of last week, I couldn't get it to upload. Can you check and see if it's okay? This is Julie.
Sure. Give me just a second.
Okay.
And what did you upload?
The picture. Well, I sent you all the information, and then I went on to do it myself, and I think it wouldn't let me put the picture in. I attached it, and then I couldn't drop it in.
Okay, you mean your picture, right?
Right.
I think you're here. Give me a second. Yeah, right here, right? Julie Meyer?
Yeah, I'm there, but then I wasn't in the, is it all the same? Because I noticed, okay, maybe that's their little signature when on their email then. Okay, so if it took it, then that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, where you don't see it is on the Teams tab.
Okay, we're good, thanks.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, so now I'm going to take you all to the speaker demo session. So give me just a second and we should be there So this is the demo session that I use for all of my trainings. So give me just a moment and I'll be able to bring it up for you. Okay, all right. Okay, and it should come up in just a second. All right, here we are. So we are, so once you are in the back end of your portal, in terms of the home page, remember I mentioned a few moments ago that you simply go to company profile, you scroll down, and then you click enter virtual room. And this is where you are able to access the back end of your virtual booth. So from here, we have this camera and this microphone. So if you would like to be able to communicate with anyone who visits your virtual booth, you simply click here. I'm not going to turn it on because, as I mentioned, I look like a mess over here. But this is where you simply click activate, and your visitors will be able to not only hear you, but see you. And it's very much like being live and in person, only just through your camera, where they can see you, they can turn their cameras on, they can communicate with you, they can hear you. So it's a really fun and interactive feature. And so when you are in your virtual booth, if this is something that you would like to do and engage with your visitors in this exciting way, remember just to go to this side of your screen, and again, simply click on the camera and click on the microphone. And from there, your visitors will be able to hear you. Next, we have the files portion. So this is where you, so I upload whatever is sent in terms of PDFs and videos. I upload that to the front end of your virtual booth, which I will show you in just a moment. But the back end, this is all you. This is where all of you are the star of the show. So you can upload PowerPoints, as we see right here. So you simply click add file, and from there you upload whatever it is that you would like to add, and you can simply click add to playlist, or you can click play. So you can upload PowerPoints, you can upload videos, you can upload images, whatever it is you decide, this is your oyster. So that explains the add files portion. In regards to videos, it accepts it doesn't, as far as I know, I haven't seen it accept anything more beyond 100 MB in terms of MP4s. And just make sure that your whatever PowerPoint slide you add, it's just the standard 16.9 file, PowerPoint file. So those are just some things to keep in mind, but it should be fairly easy and self-explanatory. Next, we have the apps. So this is the whiteboard, which I find really cool and fun. So if you would like to draw, if you would like to change colors, whatever you would like to do here, this will be visible to your visitors on the front end. So this is the whiteboard. If you would like to clear it, you simply click clear this board. Okay, and then you can begin over. You can begin again. Next, we have the desktop share. So if there's a YouTube video or any other kind of video or link that you would like to share with visitors in the same way that I'm sharing my screen with you, you can do that with your visitors. Again, you simply go to desktop share, and from there you can share your screen. Next, we have the quizzes feature. So you simply click the plus sign, and you can enter the quiz name. You can enter a question. You can make it multiple choice. You can make it multiple answers, open question, whatever it is you decide, and your visitors on the front end can see it, and they can play along and answer questions. And then from there, you'll see results. It will appear on your end of who got the answer right and who, I'm not sure, it probably shows who got it wrong, but I'm sure no one wants to embarrass anyone in that way. But I think this is a super fun and super cool feature. I could just give you an example just to show you of something that one of my coworkers, I have no idea who Tia is, but obviously this is a demo that one of my coworkers worked on. So you could put anything in there. It's entirely up to you, and your visitors can be able to interact and engage from there. Next,
So-
we have, oh, yes, I'm sorry.
For
Hi.
the quiz,
Uh-huh.
is this something that we would use while somebody is like engaging with us in the booth, or do we create like the quiz and you know, for the first, you know, 20 people who take it, maybe we, you know, give them some swag or something?
It's entirely up to you. It's whatever you would like to do in your virtual booth. I can't give like a set in stone answer because so many of our exhibitors have decided to do different things
Right.
with the quizzes. So it's whatever you would like to do, really. in
Okay,
your
so
virtual-
once they enter our booth, if we have a quiz, they can just go in and take it. They don't actually have to be like chatting with me at the moment to do that.
No, no, as long as it's there and it's something that, so long as you, as I mentioned, you create the quiz and then once it's done, you simply click start and from there they can participate in it.
Okay. And then what would the whiteboard be used for? I mean,
The
can you
whiteboard
give us
could,
maybe an example of how somebody's used that?
because if I'm honest, because we have so many different exhibitors and I haven't been able to kind of attend all like or to see what everyone is deciding to do. It's kind of entirely again what the team decides to do. So you could use it for creative purposes. You can use it for pretty much anything. So this part of things in terms of the creative side, the quiz, the whiteboard, that's kind of to each their own, if I could put it that way, of what they would like to do in their virtual booth.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Okay. And then next we have the video library. This is where different videos, whatever videos you add, they can be added here just to be able to refer back to. Next we have recording. So keep in mind that this recording, it's the moment that you click it and its attendee is there, it will take about 3 minutes before you can record whatever it is that you would like to record in your virtual booth. So bear with Visibo in that regard. It takes about 3 minutes, but after the 3 minutes is done, you should be good to go. And then next we have the breakout room. So this part is super fun. So because this booth isn't live right now, there aren't any participants. But if there were participants, we would see them all here. And let's say, so what we have, so to answer a question about what others are doing, this I know has been a very popular feature in the sense that, let's say there are 5 or 6 of you on the team. So there's one person that would stay here in the presentation stage. And let's say I wander in as a visitor and I say, you know what, I would like to talk about flooring. Or whatever it is I would like to talk about. So let's say you have someone in room 3 that is talking about flooring. You can take my name and drag and drop me to room 3 where I can talk to my heart's content with whoever is in there that is talking about flooring or whatever it is that your company does and that you're proud of and that you want to share with visitors. And so we found a lot of success, and a lot of our exhibitors have found a lot of success and sponsors as well in terms of having someone that is on their team. This person is talking about A in room 1. This person is talking about B in room 2, and this person is talking about C in room 3, and being able to drag and drop their participants regarding, depending on the subject that they would like to talk about, to each room, and they can communicate with a salesperson from there or whomever it is on your team that is skilled and equipped to talk about that particular subject. So we found a lot of success from a lot of our sponsors specifically as they've kind of gone first in terms of with their summits, and a lot of the visitors seem to really, really like this feature. So this is something to think about if you would like to add it to your virtual booth. Now we have the chat feature. So this is where, as you can see, myself and some of my other coworkers have been playing around in here. And so this is where, this is the room chat feature. And so this is where, when you were in your virtual booth, if I, as the attendee, wanted to ask a question and I didn't care about it being seen by other visitors, I didn't care about anyone else that's an attendee like myself or a visitor like myself seeing it, I could just type in right here, and everyone will be able to see my question or my response. Next, we have the Q&A feature. This is where if I were shy and I felt like my question was silly, I was embarrassed, people get shy for different reasons, and they don't want anyone else to see their question, this is where they would type in their question here in the Q&A portion, and only you and your team members will be able to see that visitor's question. No one else, no one in the room chat, or no one else that is in your virtual booth that is not a member of your team will be able to see that person's question. And then next we have the moderator chat, where if all of you want to kind of communicate amongst yourselves and you don't want your visitors to be able to see it. So let's say I walk in and I say I want to talk about such and such as a visitor. All of you can communicate via this moderator chat and say, oh, we worked on such and such back in May. Okay, so you could begin talking about this and I'll jump in right after you. So this is where you can kind of communicate with each other and it's not visible to the visitor. It's just only something that you and your team members can see. Next we have, oh yes?
Will this function pop up as dialogue begins, or do we have to have it open?
So on the front end of your virtual booth, it is already there. And so as soon as someone joins in as a participant, it will be there. So I'll show you what the front end looks like in just a moment, but it is right there in your virtual booth directly on the side. So I'll show you that in just a moment. But it is there for attendees and visitors to be able to communicate with you. Okay, and next we have the playlist. So as I mentioned with the files, once you add files, videos, what have you, this is where it appears in the playlist side of things. And so this is what will be visible. Whatever videos or PowerPoints you've uploaded, it will be visible to your visitors on the front end of your virtual booth. As I mentioned, you can upload PowerPoints, you can upload, again, another video. One of my coworkers uploaded a picture of her adorable baby. So it is entirely up to you, whatever video, oh, see, someone's talking. Whatever video you would like to add or PowerPoint. Again, this is your oyster. Now, something else to mention, we don't expect anyone to sit or like chained to their laptop from 9 to 5 or computer from 9 to 5 all day. We have these set hours for the virtual hall, and so we encourage for your virtual booth to be staffed during those hours. If you need me to send over those hours, I'm happy to do so. Dean, I believe I sent them to you earlier this week, but I'm happy to do so, to send it out again if need be. But we just encourage someone to be in your virtual booth during those hours. But when visitors are in sessions or they're attending the conference, we don't expect someone to be there. You could just simply put a standard PowerPoint file that says something along the lines of, hey, sorry you missed us. And it could be for whatever reason. If you have to go to the bathroom, if you have to walk your dog, if you have to take a phone call, you can simply put a holding slide that will say, hey, sorry, we missed you. Please feel more than welcome to call us or contact us at this number or at this email, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So yes, so that, because virtual exhaustion is real, and we don't want anyone to get tired while they are exhibiting on the show floor. And so all we ask is that you're there during the virtual expo hall hours. But we don't expect anyone to be there all day, just so long as you put a holding slide to let attendees and visitors know where you are and where they can reach you, that is just fine. So that explains the playlist side of things. Next, we have the participants. So as you can see, because I am in the virtual booth, a green star is beside my name. But if I were an attendee or a visitor, the green star wouldn't be beside my name. You would just simply see my name. And so that goes for all of the participants. So, and that also goes for all of you as booth staff. So all of your names will be here as booth staff with the green star, and then your participants, their names will be here as well. without the green star, but it will let you know who is in your virtual booth. And so I usually, for Greenbuild, I usually have been, for this summits, I've been in the help desk. And so it looks very similar to this. And so whenever someone wanders in and they have a question that they're trying to figure out in regards to their virtual booth or what have you, I can see all of the names here and I can reach out to them individually. They can turn their camera on if they want to. I can turn my camera on so long as I go here, and we can have an in-person or as close to in-person chat. And it makes it very interactive. They get whatever question or whatever problem that they need resolved. And I think it's just a very great feature. And so this is something that you can use in your virtual booth as well. And then finally, we have the notes feature. So this is where you can include a note. And if you click broadcast note, that will be visible to your visitors on the front end side of things. However, if it's just something that you would like to keep amongst your team, you don't have to click broadcast note, but it will be automatically saved here. And you can just have it here. Again, just little doodles in here just to see if it works. But this is where you can just write your note and only members of your team can see it. However, if you want visitors to be able to see it, you simply click broadcast note and it will be visible on the front end side of things. So we will be going to the front end side of things. I'll use one of our sponsors' booths that is complete to give you a picture of what it looks like. But I want to open up the floor to see if anyone has any questions. Yes, hi.
Hi, April, it's Dina.
Hey, Dina.
Hi, I do have a question in regards to the staff name. Is it just only their name, or will their titles appear with their name?
So on the front end, their titles appear with their name. On the back end, it will just be your name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
How do
Thank
people
you.
sorry, when they come in your booth virtually, how do they decide who they want to talk to? Do they just pick a name, or how does that go?
As soon as they enter your virtual booth, whoever is there, there could be 3 of you in your virtual booth at the same time. There could be 4 of you, and whoever is there will greet them. Someone on your team will greet them. So it's not as if they decide who they want to talk to. It's just whoever is present and available in your virtual booth as soon as a visitor walks in.
Before we do that separate room thing that you showed.
Yes, that is an option if you would like to do the breakout room. So as I mentioned earlier, if you decide to do the breakout room, so we encourage, let's say, for example, someone is here in room 1, someone is here in room 2, someone is here in room 3. A 4th person could be here in this section that we call it the presentation stage. And let's say if I walk in, as I mentioned, and I want to talk about the letter A, and someone in room 2 is talking about the letter A, whoever is here in the presentation stage can simply just take my name, which would be right here as a participant, and drag and drop my name to room 2, to whoever's talking about letter A. I hope that answers the question, or if you'd like for me to go over it again, I'm happy to do that.
No, that part I got. It was the initial part where they come into your booth, but anybody can greet them and talk to them. And then if you need to have a private conversation or just a more in-depth one, then they can go into those chat rooms.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they can't choose the chat room. Someone that is on your team would have to be able to move them to that chat room.
Okay.
But yes, if that is something that you would like to do and have a more in-depth conversation, that's what those breakout rooms are for.
Okay.
April, for
Sure.
those breakout rooms, is it possible to name them? Like, let's say we wanted one room to be about specifications and we wanted another one to be about a product exquisite. Can we rename those instead of just room 1 and room 2?
Unfortunately, we've tried actually, but the event platform does not allow us to change or to alter room 1. As you could see, I'm trying. So that is unfortunately a no. We just kind of have to stick with the the template that they've given us for the time being. But if that does change, I will absolutely let you know, because I've found that the Visibo team, they work a lot behind the scenes and they're updating things, and then I find out about them the next day. So if it does change, I will absolutely let you know.
Okay.
So for now, if a guest comes on, the only thing they'll see is room 1, room 2, room 3?
They won't see that. You see that. So whoever is the booth staff here, they won't see which room they're in. So this is something, because we're in the back end of this, a visitor would not be able to see this. This is something that only you and your team members would be able to see. But you would say, okay, so so-and-so is in room 1 talking about this, so I'm going to bring you over to room 1. But they won't be able to see which rooms they're in per se. That's only something that you and your team can see.
But we'll be able to see that Julie is in room 1 and Dio's in room 2, and
Yep.
Adrian from our team is in room 3.
Yep.
So then if I'm in the front room and I know Adrian is talking about specifications and he's in room 3, I'll know to drop them into that room if we want to set it up that way. It was just
Yes.
trying to figure out how we would organize the rooms. Or is it a scenario where a customer logs in and they start asking questions? Do we just then say, well, let's get in a room together? Is that how that works?
You could do that. Again, whatever. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's really whatever you decide to do. What I suggested is, again, just a suggestion. It's entirely up to you and your team how you would like to utilize these breakout rooms. So you could have, yes, I'm sorry.
If we stay in the front end, so instead of being in these separate rooms,
yeah,
does that mean any customer who walks in can also see our conversation? So like if I'm on a video chat with somebody, if somebody comes in to our virtual booth, will they now see that interaction?
Yes, they would.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so as soon as they enter, they would be right there, right in the middle of the conversation with that person.
Sorry, April, is there a time frame where that chat goes away, or is it just a complete history of the 3 days?
It's a complete history of the 3 days.
Oh.
Does anyone have any other questions?
I think Dina raised her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I asked already.
That's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to unshare my screen, and I'll just take you to the final part of this training session. Okay, give me just a moment to be able to pull it up for you. Okay. Just a moment, and it should come up right now. All right, so this is one of our sponsors booths. And so this is what it looks like on the front end side of things. So from here, this is the booth background banner. So we recommend, and this is in your exhibitor portal with the size dimensions, but it's 1280 width, 400 in height. And so you could either choose to do a still image or a color theme. I can show you a still image, a booth with a still image in just a moment. But for this particular sponsor, he decided to go with a color theme, and I think it looks really nice. It adds a nice pop of color to their virtual booth. We've actually found that when exhibitors try to do a logo, it actually doesn't look as nice. It just, for some reason, this side of things tends to block out the logo. So we recommend, again, doing a still image or a color image. That seems to work best. And then here it will show, so this is when the sponsor was in their summit. But for each day, I will go into the back end and update the time and the date for you. So for this particular sponsor, I will bring it over to November 10th. That's when the show goes live. And so it will show the time. The show is in Central Standard Time. And then here, I've actually had a few exhibitors reach out and say, can we remove virtual booth? No, unfortunately, that that is something that we have to keep. And that's something that the platform requires to have at the beginning before each company name. But so it's here, virtual booth, company name, and then your company description. Next, we have, this is something that it's a networking feature that the marketing team has been working on. So I've been adding this link to each booth. And so this is where either an attendee or another exhibitor can schedule a meeting with your team, and there's room for matchmaking and networking, and it's a really cool feature. And then next we have, remember I mentioned choosing the best product categories that best fit your company, which I think has already been done, which is awesome. But this is where we've created a search feature where a visitor can decide, you know what, I want to hear about acoustical systems. And because Anderson has this listed as their product category, once I type that in as the visitor, your company will appear as a company that is associated with this product category. So product categories, very important, but it's already been done for your company, which is awesome. So that's one less thing to worry about. Now, this is the presentation stage that we were talking about. So it's green on the back end, but it's black grayish here on the front end. And so this is where I, as the visitor, will be able to see you and your team members in here. And on this side, because this booth isn't live, and none of our booths are live, obviously, because today isn't a show day, you can't see where the chat feature is, but it's usually right on this side, and it's large. Like when the show is live, this like blows up, and it's almost like a little mini TV screen in the middle of your laptop or computer. And this is where the chat Q&A feature is, where they can have the room chat, or they can ask you a private question. The moderator chat is not visible here, as I mentioned. So only the room chat and the Q&A feature is here. And this is where they'll be able to see you. They'll be able to communicate. They can turn their camera on. They can talk to you. If they don't want to turn their camera on, they just want to write, they can do that too. So it's entirely up to them. And then here's where all of these speakers and booth staff are. And so so I will upload, sorry, it's an ambulance. No, it's a fire truck that's going by right now. It distracted me. This is where I receive your headshots and your job title. And then I include it here, and a visitor will be able to see, oh, these are all the people that are a part of this company. And that doesn't mean, like, let's say this booth were live, that doesn't mean all of these people will be here in the presentation stage at the same time. Maybe only the first 4 are here, and these other 3 took a break. So you can kind of mix and match depending on who needs to take a break, who needs to step away. But this is where a visitor will be able to see who is a part of your company and communicate with you from here. And then just beginning to come to a close, we have, this is where your logo is. It tells the sponsor, the branding package that you have. And then it also has just a short company bio. So this is the pop-up window. And I can actually show you what that looks like. Let me see. So my team is working on the virtual expo hall. So this is where all of the companies will be, and it will be huge and colorful. But for right now, we just have it for the sponsors. But when I mentioned the pop-up message, so we were just looking at Anderson's, this is what I'm talking about. This is the welcome message that is here. So they see your logo. So if I were the visitor and I'm like looking through all of the sponsors and exhibitors, and I see, for example, Home Depot, I simply click their name, and this is the pop-up window, the welcome message that's like, oh, okay, so this is everything that Home Depot does. Nice. And then I click visit the Home Depot, and it immediately takes me to their virtual booth where I'm automatically added in as a visitor. And that's where whoever is in the virtual booth can communicate with me. So let's go back to Anderson. So as I mentioned, this is the welcome message. I click visit Anderson, and as I mentioned, it takes me to their virtual booth. So the same thing will happen for you and for your teams. As soon as the Dunn-Edwards logo is added to the virtual expo hall floor, A visitor will see your company logo and click, again, all of this pop-up welcome message. They'll see that and they'll click visit Dunn-Edwards Corporation, and from there it will take them to your virtual booth where you can communicate with them from there. And then finally we have the content hub. So this is where you can upload videos. Again, remember, videos have to be 100 MB in terms of MP4s, or you can upload PDFs. So all I will need, and that's also in your tasks feature, all I will need is a title, the PDF. I cannot tell you the amount of submissions I've received with titles and thumbnails and no PDF or no file. And I have to reach out to the person and say, hey, this is important. Can you send this over again, or can you resubmit this? So this is something just to remember, to send me the PDF, send me the video. PowerPoints actually don't work well here. PowerPoints work on the back end of your virtual booth. For this portion, we encourage PDFs and we encourage videos. And from here, so yeah, so you just include the PDF or the video, the title, and the thumbnail image. And from there, this is what the front end of your virtual booth looks like. And so I mentioned to all of you that I would share with you what a still image looks like. I showed you one with a color image. So give me just a second and I could show that to you.
Hey, April, I think Dina has another question.
Yes, sure.
April, will we be able to have a live preview of our booth prior to opening day of the show?
Yes, so I can actually send it to you right now. And once you continue to upload things, from there, you could just simply click it on your own and see what has been uploaded. So once you upload things to your virtual booth, it doesn't appear right away. It needs to be sent to me, and then I need to approve it and upload it for you. And then from there, you can see your virtual booth. But this is your virtual booth. I included it in the chat. Right now, this is everything that has been submitted so far.
Okay.
And once I receive more things, I can upload it for you.
Okay.
Will we have a
Thank
chance to have a practice, like right before the show goes live, so we could practice, so we know it? You know what I mean? It's great to all watch it. And it seems easy enough, but I think if we got a quick practice, it would help.
So we can't turn the booths on live prior to the show because that messes up the agenda. But all of you, if all of you have access to your virtual booth, and let me know if you don't, and I can resend a portal invite if need be. But once you have access, you're free to just play around in there and see what you would like to do. But unfortunately, I can't turn it live just yet, as strict orders from my manager. But your booth is yours, so you can go into it as frequently and as often as you like and see how it looks. And then you have the link to the front end side of things too, just to see how it looks on the front end.
Okay.
Okay. And then I will show you what a still image looks like. I think this company did a beautiful job. Let me share with you just a second. Okay, so this is another one of our sponsors, and this is the image that they went with, and I think it's great. I think it's very, again, colorful. It's engaging, and here is again their speakers and staff, their company description, their pop-up welcome message, and they decided to only do 3, even though they could have done more. Obviously, the option, I think there are 6 resources that you can add to your content hub, but they decided to only go with 3. Maybe that will change when the show gets closer. But these are all videos that, they included the title, they included the thumbnail image. And so once I click into it, it immediately takes me to a video that gives me more information about what they do and who they are. So yes, just to give you an idea of what you would like to do. So again, we recommend either still images or a color image for your virtual booth. And so that explains everything in terms of the back end, in terms of the front end. in terms of your exhibitor portal. So does anyone have any questions for me that I can answer?
I don't think so. I guess my question's more to Dina. Dina, if I have files and things that I would like uploaded for customers, like our lead spec, do you want me to send that to you, or do you want me just to go ahead and upload that onto the portal?
No, can you send it to Christina and I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
I'll
that
send
goes
you
for everybody.
A whole plethora of stuff.
If you want to upload, please send it to Christina and I will review it, and then we'll take care of uploading it. That way we're aware of everything that's going into the booth.
Does she already have all the exquisite information in there and videos?
Yep, Exquisite is in there, the hero video, the lab video showing the comparisons with the competitors is in there as well.
Great.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Does anyone else have any questions?
We will all learn about virtual booths together.
Yeah.
Yay, yay. This is why I'm here. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for bearing with me and with my neck. Hence, if I sound low energy, it's because I'm trying to not be in pain, but I appreciated all of you and just being able to communicate with you. And hopefully I was able to answer all of your questions. If any come up, I'm here. You can call me on my cell phone that's in my signature, or you can email me. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. And if we need to do this again, let me know. I will clear my calendar just to be able to go over this again with all of you, because I want to make sure that you have a seamless experience for the show.
April, the
Thank
day
you,
of the
April.
show, should we have questions or we're not sure what we're doing? Are you going to be our contact?
Yeah, sure. I can
Okay.
definitely hop on if need be. And the day of the show, I'll be honest, will probably be insane.
Yes.
With a lot of emails and phone calls and whatnot, but I will definitely squeeze in some time for you guys. Absolutely, if you need extra help.
Okay. So we're not alone.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions?
This is the most sophisticated virtual trade show I've been a part of to date. I did another one, but you were automatically put into a room with who you had a meeting with. It was for the Builders Association. And so when it was your time slot, they would automatically put you in the room, and that was all there was to it, and you'd have a conversation. So this is the closest to an actual trade show without being one. So it's going to be interesting.
Julie, you made my day with saying thank you. We've been hearing that a lot, but like whenever I hear it, it just encourages me so much. And so thank you for
You are welcome.
Thank you for just the kind words, and it's going to be a great show. As I mentioned, our sponsors have already had so much success, and they're gearing up for when the show goes live with all of you. And so I'm excited for when that happens. So yes, just let me know. You have my email, you have my cell. Oh, I'm seeing a hand. Yes.
I had one last question. I'm sorry, I have so many questions.
That's okay.
The training that is on Thursday, the exhibitor training,
Mhm.
is that something we need to join, or is that similar to what we saw here today? And I watched the YouTube video from the campus session. So do we need to participate in the Thursday one?
You don't have to. I made it entirely optional for all of our exhibitors. Whoever wants to join can. If you're free Thursday at 1 p.m. my time, I think that's 10 a.m. your time for all of you in LA. And so, yeah, so it's entirely up to you. Entirely optional.
But
So
is the training going over the same content?
It's the same stuff. Yep. Same
went
stuff that I
over?
talked about today.
Refresher.
Mhm.
Got it.
Oh, that made me think of another question. Sorry. Are the times, because we have all the times for when the booths are live, are those Pacific time or are those Eastern time?
Those are Central Standard Time, because the Greenville team is all split up. So I'm here in New Jersey, but a lot of the Greenfield staff is in Texas. Then there are some that are in California. So it's all over. So the team in Texas was like, why don't we make it Central Standard Time? So that's like easier for all of us. So I had nothing to do with the hours that were chosen, but it is in Central Standard Time.
Okay, so when we look at that, we have to figure out the difference in the time. It's not actually the time it says because we're Pacific time.
Right, yeah. So that is something. So just keep in mind that it's in Central Standard Time, and that's all throughout. That's not only in Bisaabo where it says in parentheses Central Standard Time, but it also is in your exhibitor resources kit that I mentioned earlier that shows the virtual expo hall hours.
Okay.
And it's also in Central Standard Time as well.
Because we go to Standard Time this weekend, so we don't have to take into account that. Just your guys, Central Standard Time. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Good question, Julie.
Good question,
Yeah.
Julie.
Great question. Yeah.
Because I thought, uh-oh, what if those times are not ours?
Awesome. Does anyone have any other questions?
I'm good.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All
Okay, great. So this will be as soon as this, because this is all being recorded right now. But as soon as it uploads on my end, I will send it over to you both. It'll be in YouTube form, because that's usually where all of our training sessions are uploaded. So I will send you that link as soon as I get it. And yeah, reach out if you have any other questions. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much, April. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Of course.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
all of you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you guys